So you've been trying to win those freelancing jobs and you've been feeling burnt out or hopeless that you're ever going to find jobs that pay you well, that you enjoy. Hi, I'm freelance writer and author Melissa May Younger, and I wanted to share with you how changing my strategy has had a big payoff, both financially and in job satisfaction as a freelance writer. If you find this video helpful or encouraging, please give it a like, and if you want to hear more about writing, publishing, and freelancing, then please subscribe to my channel. So imagine that you're fishing in this huge pond and there's a lot of other people fishing, and so you see them, you get a little nervous, you think, oh man, I just need to keep throwing in my line in hopes that I'm just gonna catch fish before somebody else does. And so you just continuously throwing out your line and spending lots of energy trying to get these little fish that are coming by. And at the end of the day, you might catch one of those small fish, but you're completely exhausted from your efforts and you might not have a lot to show for it. So what if instead you sit back and you wait for the big fish? What if you are quiet and still? What if you formulate a strategy instead of constantly throwing out your line, and then you try to catch the big fish at the right time? You'll have spent much less energy and you'll be less stressed and you'll probably have a better outcome. Now, if that sounds idealistic to you, it's not. I know because I have done this. Trust me, they're out there. You just have to wait for them. So when I first started out freelancing, I was just applying to jobs like crazy. I was just hoping that I would get something. I was spending all my time and energy on these jobs that I didn't really want, that they were offering too little money. I thought, is this what it's always going to be like? And I want to just reassure you that it does not always have to be like that. Beware of red flags. One red flag is somebody offering too little money for a job, because they're going to expect the same amount of work and the same quality work, and it's going to take you a lot of time and you're not going to get paid that much. And that is the quickest road to burnout. Don't take a job for too little pay, because you'll end up regretting it later and you've lost all bargaining power. You can't then, after you've completed the job, say, actually, I spent a lot more time on this than I thought I would, I need more money. The client is not going to like that, and they're not going to pay you more money, and they don't have to, especially if it's on a platform where you have already agreed on the amount ahead of time. Thirdly, I would say only apply to jobs that are the right fit for you, or that you are willing to maybe try out, that could potentially be a good fit for you. But you want to make sure that you're honest with the client about your lack of experience or knowledge, but also don't undersell yourself too much. Make sure that you acknowledge your strengths. And that leads me into the fourth point, which is know yourself. If you don't know your strengths and weaknesses, then you should take some self-assessments. There's plenty of different ones online. There's actually this one called Strengths Finder. I would recommend doing that. That's very good for the business world. You can do a lot of other ones. You could do the Enneagram, you could do the Myers-Briggs, you could do the Taylor-Johnson temperament test. There are a million different assessments, and many of them free. So I would say just go and check some of those out. Make sure that you know yourself and your skills before you get into these jobs, so that you can accurately assess how well you're going to be able to do and communicate that to the client, and then the client won't be disappointed, and then you won't be frustrated because you're not being forced to do things that you really don't know how to do or are completely go against your personality. This isn't what you wanted to do. Discovering that a job is just not that interesting to you when you have like a lot of it left, that's a bad feeling. So speaking from experience here, that's a bad feeling. I use Upwork to get most of my clients, but I've also used word of mouth. I just tell people what I do, and when I describe it to people, sometimes people are like, oh wow, well I actually have this project I've been thinking of, or they say, oh, my friend was looking for somebody, and so I can get recommended that way. So I work both on Upwork and then just, getting paid through a check or through PayPal or something like that. If you're gonna go the second route, then you really need to make sure that you've established trust with this client and that they're really going to pay you and that you're not going to have to enter into legal battles later on. I hope that is helpful to you. Please feel free to leave a comment below to ask me any questions about freelancing. What do you want to know about freelancing? I've been doing this for a number of years now, so I would just love to share from my experience and knowledge all the do's and don'ts and what works and what doesn't.